ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਅਲਬਰਟਾ ਦੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਕਲਚਰ, ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਤੇ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਆਫ ਵੂਮਨ ਲੀਲਾ ਅਹੀਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਨੇ ਲੀਲਾ ਅਹੀਰ। Good evening, Minister.
Good evening, Paji. Sat Sri Akal ji. It's very happy to be here.
Welcome in the Focus Punjabi.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very honored to be here with you this evening.
How's your experience for the first few months as a minister?
Well, I literally, even in opposition, I just felt like I had to pinch myself every day for this tremendous privilege. Then to be elected as a government and then to be chosen to be part of this cabinet. It's just been it's just a huge privilege, Paji, and I feel very blessed every day. I work with an incredible group of people. Our MLAs are dedicated, wonderful individuals. They're very, very committed to the platform that we brought forward. We hit the ground running though. We're about 157 days in, so I guess that would be approximately about 143 days since I received my ministry. And we literally that evening started off with an event, and we've had on average between 2 to 5 events per day, plus regular constituency work and legislation and everything else. So it's been busy.
Why multiculturalism is a priority for you?
Yeah, so Premier Kenny, I don't even know if I have the appropriate words to explain the immense importance there is for him in this platform and in this portfolio. As you know, this was a part of his federal pieces and he took actually the piece of multiculturalism with him right through all of his other ministries when he was a minister at the federal level. We haven't had a portfolio for multiculturalism in this province for 25 years. What it does is it's an intersectionality of culture and family and province and the incredible immigrants that come into our country and our province, and about really elevating discussion around the beautiful things around our culture and sharing those things across, but also not just all the good things. There's a lot of good things, but there are also issues that we need to deal with that are relevant to particular things within multiculturalism that we can deal with together. So what it does is it gives us a platform as a society to work together within culture to really elevate all of the Canadians that are here and Albertans, both new, whether you've come here by chance or by choice. You know, I think these are really important discussions that we have.
Maxime Bernier says that multiculturalism is a threat for the Canada. What do you say?
It's really hard for me to put into words the lack of understanding that I think comes from a statement like that. As you know, because Baji, you're in the community as much as I am, with multiple peoples right across the range of faith, culture, belief systems, all sorts of different things, and you know as much as I do how much all of us contribute to the fabric of our country and of our province. All of us are immigrants. Every single one of us, except for the first people that are here, our First Nations and brothers and sisters, right? All of us come in as immigrants. All of us have a responsibility to work together to build this beautiful country. And we are a small population in a humongous country. All of us trying to make it work here together to provide so many wonderful things into this country and into the province. And I just really believe that a statement like that lacks an understanding of who we are.
On the other hand, how do you take the controversy of Trudeau brownface controversy?
Yeah, I've been very vocal. Trudeau comes from a history that should understand multiculturalism. When you take Justin Trudeau today, a man who pretends to go across the country talking about anti-racism but doesn't use his own example of mistakes to come forward and say, look, I myself made this mistake. I shouldn't have done this. And the reason why I'm coming forward is because I know I've hurt people. I know I've made this mistake. All of us have made mistakes, Paji. All of us. Nobody is free from mistakes. But when you don't acknowledge that and use that as a jumping off point for having a reason to have a platform on something, it's disingenuous and it lacks any sort of understanding how somebody like that could be the leader of a country as diverse as our own.
So there are so many domestic violence cases in Alberta.
Yeah.
what your government is doing for that?
So, as you probably know, in our platform commitments, domestic violence, and especially in the last little while, we've seen quite an elevation in domestic violence. And so within our platform commitments, we have a piece of legislation called Claire's Law. So right now we're in phase one of that. We've just finished phase one of our consultation. So we're working with community groups, cultural groups, First Nation groups, also with the missing, murdered, and women, Indigenous women and girls. That piece of information, which is like a 1,750-page document. We're working with that, and along with also it's a multi-platform piece, so we're working across justice, Indigenous relations, we're working with children's services and community and social services. All of those groups are coming together along with Status of Women, Culture, Multiculturalism to try and find out what it is that we need to do to protect people who have been victims of family crime and domestic violence, and also to work with the families to find how we put families back together.
What are the new projects for the multiculturalism in your department?
Well, there's so many. Yeah, well, the multiculturalism, so as you know, and these aren't specific to my department, Baji, we work really collaboratively. So in the Ministry of Immigration and Labor and Immigration, as you know, we've got two pieces of legislation that we're looking at right now, the fairness for Albertans, and also to help new Canadians who are coming in to potentially open up businesses and come forward into rural areas. So two of these pieces, one of them is to look at making sure that we honor the professional designations of those immigrants that are coming to Canada, because Canada reaches out and says, hey, come to Canada. We really want you. We want that expertise. And then people come here and they're in survivor jobs, awaiting to try and get their professional designations. So that's one piece. The lens of culture and multiculturalism is specific, and actually Status of Women is extremely important in these. So we're working quite collaboratively with that. And then as well as getting some of our hopefully new Canadians and new immigrants coming into Alberta to be able to maybe look at rural areas as a potential to start a business and to bring their families out there and to revitalize rural communities. What an awesome opportunity that is. And then within multiculturalism itself, what we're trying to do is work with communities to build capacity around events, social outings, our seniors, making sure that there's not isolationism amongst our new Canadians, so that they're being incorporated into Alberta, so we become this greater product.
There was a report in the media last year that the women normally earn less than the men.
Okay.
How do you take this challenge?
There are a lot of different moving pieces to that discussion. It's actually a really, really very complicated discussion. There are so many opportunities for us to look at how it is that we create an equality of pay for women and men who are doing the same jobs. As you know, in India, if a woman engineer and a male engineer are together, they're making the same pay. This is actually a structural piece of federal legislation in India, and it goes right across the country. These are the things that we're looking at here to see where we're failing on those things. I actually, to tell you the truth, Paji, even since I've started in this ministry, we're seeing a huge change and shift in the way that we look at people and their capacity and their competencies within that. And I think for anybody, that's what we're looking for. And the Status of Women is a really great opportunity for men and women to work together collaboratively to make sure that women are earning what they should be earning for the jobs that they're doing.
Any message in the end you want to convey to our listeners now?
Well, I'm so honored. I feel, as a Southeast Asian woman, to be sitting here in front of you as a Minister of Culture, Multiculturalism, and Status of Women. It shows to our people, our families, that we are a strong voice for our communities. You in media, myself sitting here in government, that we are able to elevate the discussions and have discussions around difficult and sometimes uncomfortable discussions like domestic violence or other situations that happen, that we can help in Canada to actually bring our cultures together and really, really elevate the discussion. And I'm really honored to be here with you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Minister, for joining the Focus Punjabi program.
Thank you so much.
So दोस्तों, AC ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਲੀਲਾ ਅਹੀਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਕਲਚਰ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਤੇ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਆਫ ਵੂਮਨ ਨੇ ਅਲਬਰਟਾ ਦੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਮਰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਗਲੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।